Welcome back to FryMinis. I'm Eric, and today in our Critical Role Call of the Netherdeep coverage, we are talking about magic items. All right, you're going to hear this a bunch. We've got all these videos. We're going up into a playlist. Check that out. If you haven't watched the live stream, you probably want to go check that out. We did a whole flip through this whole book at kind of like a high level, and we've got a great commenter who went through and timestamped everything, so you can just like boop, boop, boop right through. But today we're talking about magic items, and everybody loves magic items. With this book, there's a thing called Rubidium corruption, which is like a mineral that can make people go a little wacky. We did a video on that. I strongly recommend you go watch that video so you know what the heck we're talking about here, because a lot of these items are directly tied to Rubidium and the corruption it can do to you. So go check that out and then come back. And then also go check out our contest. We're giving away, in partnership with Miniature Market, a $50 gift card to Miniature Market, and then 10 free PDFs from FryMinis.com/shop. So we'll have the link popping up on screen and linked in the description or in the comments or whatever. Go check that out. Totally free. Okay, this section has just a little blurb on Rubidium, so let's just burn through that real quick. Rubidium is linked to the Apotheon, channeling not just Elixion's distorted emotions, but also the curse of misfortune bestowed upon him by the moon Ruidus. Though it's a source of magical powers, Rubidium corrupts everything it touches. Even magic items can be corrupted by Rubidium, and using such items comes with a risk. Weapons and armor can be transformed into Rubidium items by infusing them with powdered Rubidium, which gives these items a rusty red coloration. Other items can be transformed into Rubidium items after prolonged contact with the mineral. Such items have Rubidium crystals embedded in them or veins of Rubidium running through them. Okay, that's a good little blurb to help you understand what Rubidium is if you haven't watched that other video, which I strongly recommend. Okay, items in this book are listed in alphabetical order. Normally I would just go straight through, but there's this whole section that we're going to focus on first. There are these really cool consumable common magic items that I really like. They're called medals. Each of these medals are like think of like an award kind of medal. You can like press it into your palm or something like that, and then for an hour you get this boost, this perk. And I think that's a really neat thing, especially with how you get them in the book, where they're kind of like rewards for these games and stuff. I think you could easily sprinkle these into any game, any world, any campaign. Most of them kind of replicate minor magical effects or give you advantage on stuff, and I just think they're great. So we're going to start with medals. Medal of Muscle, wondrous item, common. You can squeeze this medal tightly in the palm of your hand as an action. Doing so gives you advantage on strength checks and strength saving throws for 1 hour. Once this property has been used, it can't be used again, and the medal becomes non-magical. Medal of the Conch, wondrous item, common. When you use an action to rub this medal, you gain a swimming speed equal to your walking speed for 1 hour. Once this property has been used, it can't be used again, and the medal becomes non-magical. Medal of the Horizon Back, wondrous item, common. When you would be hit by an attack, you can use your reaction to increase your AC by 5 until the start of your next turn, including against the triggering attack. You must be wearing the medal and able to see the creature that made the triggering attack to use this property. Once this property has been used, it can't be used again, and the medal becomes non-magical. Medal of the Maze, wondrous item, common. When you use an action to trace the maze inscribed on this medal, you gain advantage on wisdom checks and know the quickest route to the end of any non-magical path or maze for 1 hour. Once this property has been used, it can't be used again, and the medal becomes non-magical. Medal of the Meat Pie, wondrous item, common. You gain 2d4 plus 2 temporary hit points when you use an action to press this medal to your mouth. Once this property has been used, it can't be used again, and the medal becomes non-magical. While magical, this medal is slightly warm to the touch, as if it's fresh from the oven and smells faintly of baked pie crust. Medal of the Wetlands, wondrous item, common. When you use an action to trace the edge of this medal, difficult terrain doesn't cost you extra movement for 1 hour. Once this property has been used, it can't be used again, and the medal becomes non-magical. Medal of Wit, wondrous item, common. You can press this medal to your temple as an action. Doing so gives you advantage on intelligence checks and intelligence saving throws for 1 hour. Once this property has been used, it can't be used again, and the medal becomes non-magical. See, I think those are really cool. Nothing there is game breaking. And remember all those advantage on skill checks. So the wisdom, that means perception, and that means +5 to your passive perception. Things like that, those are great. Advantage on saving throws, ooh, that's always good. The meat pie one, come on. Temporary hit points, yes. And smells like pie, yes. These are great, just as they're listed here. But I think they are a really good template on how you can make your own medals. You can keep expanding these out, like hit one for every attribute. You can replicate more spell effects, all sorts. I mean, the turtle one, I mean, the turtle one, that's just shield, you know, like boom. Meat pie, that's just false life. Like these are easy peasy. These are great. I really like these. Big thumbs up. Big thumbs up to the medals. Okay, we're going to take a look at the rest of the common magic items. Breathing Bubble, wondrous item common. This translucent bubble-like sphere has a slightly tacky outer layer. The bubble contains 1 hour of breathable air. The bubble regains all its expended air daily at dawn. You gain this item's benefit by wearing it over your head like a helmet. When it's not being worn, the breathing bubble retains its bubble shape. We all know why this item's here. I'm okay with the item. I don't love it because of what it means for the adventure. Earring of Message, wondrous item common. The blue crystal of this earring is wrapped with delicate copper wire. The earring has 5 charges. While wearing it, you can use an action to expend 1 charge and cast the message spell. The earring regains 1d4 + 1 expended charges daily at dawn. I think this is great. Tying, I'll say I'm surprised this has a recharge for being a common magic item. I fully expected it to just be as 5 charges and you're done. I think that would be reasonable, but with the recharge, that's great too. I mean, this is probably going to be a top tier, like best in game common magic item. Whenever a lot of DMs might say, oh, you can start with a common magic item, no big deal. Or when you do the roll charts to do your background stuff, you get common magic items kind of left and right with those. So here you're getting a cantrip because it's not too often that you're actually going to cast that more than 5 times or whatever per day. So I don't know. If I was making this, it probably wouldn't recharge. Okay, so those are the common items. There are no uncommon items. So we're jumping all the way up to rare. We've got 1 rare. Teleportation Tablet, wondrous item, rare. This clay tablet is 8 inches long, 4 inches wide, and ½ an inch thick. It's definitely not an iPad. Inscribed on it is the sigil sequence for a permanent teleportation circle. A creature that studies the sequence for 10 minutes can make a DC 21 intelligence arcana check, learning the circle's destination on a success. You can use an action to break the tablet in half, turning it to dust. If the tablet is broken while it is on the same plane of existence as the teleportation circle whose sigil sequence was engraved on it, a 10-foot diameter teleportation circle of glowing blue light appears on the ground in an unoccupied space you choose within 30 feet of you. The teleportation circle has the same characteristics of one created using the teleportation circle spell, except that it connects to the teleportation circle whose sigil sequence appears on the tablet. The teleportation circle created by the tablet disappears at the end of your next turn. So that is the wordiest item I have ever seen. So basically, it has a teleportation circle location inscribed on it. And if you want to try to figure it out, you can with your ability check. But ultimately what you do is you break it. And then a teleportation circle appears on the ground within 10 feet, 30, what is it? Within 30 feet of you. You jump in it and poof, you're on the wherever that is. I think this is probably just like, the party's at the end of the dungeon. They need an easy way to get them out. Boop. Okay, there you're gone. Oh, the world's crashing. The cave's crashing on you. The boat's sinking. The avalanche is coming. Crack, jump. Emergency exit. Cool. I think this is fine. We need more rare items in the game. I like that this is a consumable. I don't think we have too many consumable magic items that are rare. So I'm on board. I just wish this wording was a little streamlined. All right, we're jumping from rare to very rare. This is also where we're getting our Rubidium items. Ring of Red Fury. Ring, very rare, requires attunement. This ring has a stripe of Rubidium running through it. While wearing the ring, you gain the following benefits. You can breathe water. You gain a swimming speed equal to your walking speed. Rubidium Rage. As a bonus action, you can use the ring to gain the following benefits, which lasts for 1 minute or until you are incapacitated. You have advantage on strength checks and strength saving throws. When you hit with an attack, you can add your proficiency bonus to the damage roll. Difficult terrain doesn't cost you extra movement, and you are immune to the paralyzed and restrained conditions. You can't use this property of this ring again until you finish a long rest. Rubidium Corruption. When you use this Rubidium Rage property of the ring, you must make a DC 20 Charisma saving throw. On a failed save, you gain 1 level of exhaustion. If you are not already suffering from Rubidium Corruption, you become corrupted when you fail this save. If Rubidium is destroyed, if the Apotheon is killed or redeemed, all the Rubidium in Exandria is destroyed instantly, and the Ring of Red Fury becomes a Ring of Free Action. All right, so you are getting swimming, you are getting breathing underwater. Get used to that. It's everywhere in these items. Rubidium Rage sounds great. Adding your proficiency bonus to your damage rolls, there are not many ways to do that in the game, and so having it here is so nice. And being immune to restrained, ooh, I love it. And paralyzed is nice too. Okay, so now you heard it. If Rubidium is destroyed, this is more end of the campaign kind of stuff. With that Apotheon person, you have some options on how you can handle things, and Rubidium could theoretically be gone. The corruption removed. And what I like here is that it turns into a ring of free action. All these Rubidium items, they're going to give you, if blah 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 happens, then it turns into this item. And I think that sets a really good template for you to come up with your own Rubidium items too. Rubidium Armor. Armor, any medium or heavy except hide, very rare, requires attunement. This magic armor has a dull, rusty color or has veins of Rubidium running through it. While you wear this armor, you gain the following benefits. You have resistance to psychic damage. You can breathe water. You gain a swimming speed equal to your walking speed. Rubidium Corruption. When you roll a 1 on a saving throw while wearing this armor, you must make a DC 15 Charisma saving throw. On a failed save, you gain 1 level of exhaustion. If you are not already suffering from Rubidium Corruption, you become corrupted when you fail to save. If Rubidium is destroyed, if the Apotheon is killed or redeemed, all the Rubidium in Exandria is destroyed instantly, and Rubidium Armor becomes +1 armor. Okay, cool. You know, psychic damage, resistance. And of course, now we're breathing underwater and we're swimming underwater. And now we've got so many different ways to do that. So I don't know about that. But it also just becomes +1 armor. I do kind of wish that +1 was reflected in the armor, because I'm not sure how, like, where that comes from after the fact, but okay. Also, who's picking rusty red or veins of gems in that? Like, there's no contest. Of course, go with those veins. Those look cool. Rubidium Shield. Shield, very rare, requires attunement. Tendrils of Rubidium extend across the metal surface of the shield. While the shield is on your person, you gain the following benefits. You have resistance to psychic damage. You can breathe water. You gain a swimming speed equal to your walking speed. Psychic Reflection. When you take psychic damage while holding this shield, you can use your reaction to choose another creature you can see within 30 feet of you. That creature takes the psychic damage you would have taken. Rubidium Corruption. When you use the shield's Psychic Reflection property, you must make a DC 20 Charisma saving throw. On a failed save, you gain 1 level of exhaustion. If you're not already suffering from Rubidium Corruption, you become corrupted when you fail to save. If Rubidium is destroyed, if the Apotheon is killed or redeemed, all the Rubidium in Exandria is destroyed instantly, and a Rubidium Shield becomes a +2 shield. Okay, first, the shield to get that water breathing, the swimming, And the psychic resistance is just as while it's on your person. So chuck that in your backpack if you really need to, but you're not going to want to if you're fighting psychic things, because psychic reflection is bonkers. You don't even need to bounce that damage back at the creature that caused it. You can bounce it off another one, maybe somebody who's weak, blow them up. I mean, there's nothing here that says you can't do it at an ally either. Wow. So for that part, you do have to be holding it. So yes, there's definitely advantage to holding it. And then at the end of the day, once everything's solved or everybody dies or whatever, a +2 shield is still great. I mean, fill your hand up with 4 AC. That's always going to be a good option. Rubidium Weapon. Weapon any, very rare, requires attunement. This magic weapon has a dull, rusty color or has veins of rubidium running through it. While this weapon is on your person, you gain the following benefits. You can breathe water, you gain a swimming speed equal to your walking speed. Rubidium Strike. A creature you hit with this weapon takes an extra 2d6 psychic damage. Rubidium Corruption. When you roll a 1 on an attack roll made with this weapon, you must make a DC 20 charisma save. On a fail, you gain a level of exhaustion. If you're not already suffering from corruption, you become corrupted when you fail. If Rubidium is destroyed, blah, 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 a Rubidium weapon becomes a +2 weapon. So again, this is another, just to get the swimming and the breathing, you just need to have it on your person. So in your bag or whatever. I think you would still need to be attuned to it. Same as the shield. I think you still need to be attuned to have it to get the benefit, but whatever. But 2d6 psychic, I mean, this is like a super duper cool flame tongue, basically. And it works with any weapon, which is great. Now here's the question. If you're a halfling and you re-roll your 1s or whatever, that new number becomes the original number, right? So it's like the first number never happened. So you didn't technically roll a 1 at the end of the day. So you wouldn't get the corruption. How do you read this? I'm not sure. I need to brush up on halfling. But at first blush, I would say a halfling with this weapon, it's almost never going to have the corruption happen to them. So all those Rubidium things I think are cool. I mean, I can't wait. That's going to be every book. It seems like every book I have all these videos that are generally very positive, and then I've got one video that's just me just like, Argh! That's going to be underwater adventures and all the ways that the adventure gets you out of needing to breathe water or whatever. And they all these handle that fine. But I would love to see, I really hope somebody throws on the DMs Guild or something, just Rubidium versions of like all the main magic items and throw those in here, like a cloak of displacement Rubidium item. I don't even know, but I think you could have a lot of fun there. I can't wait to see what y'all do. So that takes us from very rare, and now we have one legendary. Jewel of 3 Prayers. Wondrous item, legendary, requires attunement. The Jewel of 3 Prayers is a vestige of divergence. In ancient times, Elixion the Apotheon bore this amulet as a symbol of his covenant with 3 prime deities: Cyanine the Moonweaver, Avandra the Changebringer, and Coralon the Archheart. When the jewel is found, only Cyanine's power thrums within its dormant heart. The power of the 2 other deities waits to be reawakened by a hero or heroes who can follow in Elixion's footsteps. Okay, so in the Explorer's Guide to Wildmount, we had some vestiges of divergence there. These are basically super magic items. They scale. They have 3 different like tiers of power. As you unlock them, they become more powerful. Whether it's a like role play reason for why they unlock, or here it's a story reason of why each ability unlocks, or if you just have, if you're DMing, you can just give it fully loaded. I don't know, like, who cares? Do whatever you want. But theoretically, these are unlocking power scaling items, which are cool. And I would love to see more scaling items in World of Warcraft. These the heirloom items, loved those. Made leveling alt so much easier. Okay, so our first stage here is dormant. So this is when you first get the item. Here's what it can do. Dormant state. In this state, the Jewel of Three Prayers is a glittering golden disc attached to a fine golden chain. The chain magically resizes to function as a necklace for the creature that wears it. In its dormant state, the jewel has the following properties. You gain +1 bonus to AC while wearing the jewel. While wearing or holding the jewel, you can use an action to cause it to shed bright light in a 15-foot radius and dim light for an additional 15 feet. The light lasts until you extinguish it, no action required. The jewel has 3 charges and regains its expended charges daily at dawn. While holding the jewel, you can expend 1 charge from it to cast the invisibility spell. Okay, so attunement item, legendary, +1 AC, a light cantrip basically, and 3 charges, which at this point you can use to cast invisibility. Cool. On its own, would this be a legendary item? No, but its legendary status is tied to its lore and to the scaling that we're going to get into now. So just in those first that first stage, I think it's neat. I think it's cool. Visibility is always going to be good. No character is not going to like invisibility or +1 AC. All right, so now we're moving to our middle state, which is awakened. Awakened state. In this state, the jewel has received the blessing of Evandra the Changebringer. 3 delicate spires unfurl from the jewel's center like the buds of flowers opening in the spring. 3 lapis lazuli stones rest like dewdrops on these spires. The following benefits of the jewel improve. The bonus that the jewel confers to your AC increases to +2. Its number of charges increases to 5. The jewel gains the following additional properties, which you can use while wearing or holding it. You can expend 1 of the jewel's charges, no action required, to end one of the following conditions on yourself: grappled, paralyzed, or restrained. When another creature you can see within 60 feet of you fails a saving throw, you can expend 1 of the jewel's charges as a reaction to enable that creature to re-roll the saving throw, potentially turning a failure into a success. The creature must use the new roll. All right, so now we've moved up. We've got +2 AC instead of +1. We have 5 charges instead of 3. So we can still cast invisibility using 1 charge, but now we can also use a charge to break certain conditions. And it just happens. Amazing. That right there is incredible. I think that's so great, but all right, it's a legendary item for sure now. And letting somebody re-roll a failed save is great. And it better be an important one because we only have 5 charges here, right? And that's a full charge, just like the get out of your condition. But hey, when you need it, you need it. All right, and now this is our last stage, our most powerful version. This is the exalted state. In this state, the jewel has received the blessing of Coralon the Archheart. A gleaming emerald surrounded by a halo of gold appears on the jewel. The following benefits of the jewel improve. The bonus that the jewel confers to the AC increases to +3, and its number of charges increases to 7. The jewel gains the following additional properties which you can use while wearing or holding it. You gain the ability to, guess what, breathe water, and you gain a swimming speed equal to your walking speed. Each of your allies within 30 feet of you gains the ability to breathe water and gains a swimming speed equal to its walking speed. As a bonus action, you can expend 1 of the jewel's charges to target yourself or 1 willing creature you can see within 15 feet of you. The target teleports to an unoccupied space of your choice within 15 feet of yourself, along with any equipment the target is wearing or carrying. The target appears in a flash of golden radiance, and each creature of your choice within 5 feet of the target's new location must make a DC 18 Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, the creature takes 4d10 radiant damage and is blinded until the start of your next turn. On a successful save, the creature takes half as much damage and isn't blinded. All right, +3 AC. Now we're at 7 charges, so then visibility, all that stuff. Break the conditions, that's all still here. But now we're giving not just us, but everybody the ability to breathe water and swim equal to their walking speed. Like, how many items do we need this? And we have it in the common items too. And we have our spells, and we have our racial features, and we have our class features. It's just like, what's the point? Like, why even have this underwater at this point if we're completely getting rid of all the challenge? Whatever, that's a different video. All right, but the real thing here is this bonus action teleport. So you or somebody within 15 feet of you, bonus action, you can teleport you or them to within 15 feet of where you're at now. So you get the most bang for your buck with this if you're here and you pick somebody who's 15 feet over here and you teleport them 15 feet on the opposite side of you. That's I think how you're gonna get your biggest distance. But when they land, or you or them, or when they come back into existence, it's like a little flash grenade, 40-10 damage. Like, okay, that's within 5 feet. That's not a huge deal. But that blinded on everybody versus a DC 18 con save, you've got a real chance of that working at DC 18. And blinded, that means you've got advantage. I mean, unless they've got special traits or something, you've got advantage on attacks against them. They've got disadvantage on attacks against you. You've got some real opportunity to use that little period as like everybody go in and attack. I think that's great. So this item I think is really neat. I always love these scaling items. I think this one might get away from us a little bit in having too many bullets. We have so many things we can use these charges on that I think this is going to definitely not be optimized at the table in its use. Yeah, I think with 7 charges, we're going to burn through those pretty quickly. We might not use those at the best time, and we'll probably forget to use them when we should, like to break those conditions, to do that teleport, to re-roll. You're going to have, and by this point you're getting this, you're up in the levels, right? I mean, this only goes to level 12, but you're up in those higher levels, the double digits by now. So you've already got a lot on your plate with all your class stuff. And now you've got this huge item that takes up it's like a full page for this one item, full page of text. That's a lot to keep track of. So I don't know how player friendly this is. So if you do get this item, I would probably recommend like printing it out. I make, if I have like a weird item, or if I make something for Julie, I'll make like an Excel sheet or something, literally with check boxes, so she can have it out in front and remember, like, I have this thing I need to remember, and then you can mark it off. We are D&D Beyond users, but with all those tabs, all those areas, things can hide. If you're not looking at it, you're forgetting about it. So something like that, I think, might be very useful if somebody gets this. Okay, and so those are all the magic items in this book. There might be something, well, the new items anyway, there might be something buried some midway in the adventure or something. I haven't fully read every single word of the adventure. I don't believe so. There could be, but all in the back where all the magic items are, that's what we have. I think Rubidium items are cool. I really like what they mean, what they represent, and I just love the idea of everybody making your own custom Rubidium items. I think those medals are great, and in fact, the medals actually, there's a page in the book where it's meant for you to photocopy and then cut out each medal, and that way you can hand it to the player as they earn it, and then they can tear it, and it's fun. Those kind of physical experiences are really nice, and that's one of the advantages of playing at a table. I prefer playing at a table. We've been online players since COVID started, and that's where we're still at. I absolutely miss things like that, but hey, whatever works for you, go have fun, go enjoy these items. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, go enter the contest. Go to FryMinis.com. Go to the description. Just look at the description, look at the comments. Thank you. We'll see you later.